I don't think I need to tell you, but I will just in case, God forbid. This video is 100% spoilers for the Avengers movie and probably for many comics and perhaps maybe even the next Avengers movie. So, if you want to know who Thanos is and you don't mind knowing things about the character, keep watching the video. Otherwise, get the heck out of here. If you're like me, when the Avengers mid-credits scene ended, you thought, who? I don't know everything about comics and stuff like that. I'm more into comic book movies, just because I haven't read comics like you and many others have. So I did not know who that was, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't. So Paul here is going to explain to me, the ignorant one, who the heck Thanos is. So who the heck is Thanos?
Well, Thanos is a cosmic being. He is. It's kind of funny. It's kind of because like Thor is a god and Loki's a god.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
Thanos is considered to be a god, but he's not an Asgardian god. He is, they call it the Eternals. But basically, he's a cosmic being. He's definitely not from around Earth.
Central LA yeah. or anything, yeah.
He first appeared in Iron Man number 55 in 1972. He's not so much of an Avengers villain as he is just a villain of the Marvel Universe. But, like, the Avengers is known as Earth's mightiest heroes, and I guess it would only make sense to put them against Thanos as opposed to, like, the X-Men. Or...
Yeah, if he's kind of a villain overall, they are a good team, I feel like, too. Since they probably all have dealt with him on their own,
and the Avengers, more than... I mean, the only other group is, like, the Fantastic Four, but they have kind of been written off, yeah. But they're the only group that really fights villains in outer space, and Thanos is really one of them. But basically, like the biggest, I mean, I know Thanos to be a cosmic being, and his whole deal is that he's known as, he's known as the Titan Thanos, and he's also known as the Worshipper of Death. And that's a literal statement. He worships death. In the Marvel Universe, death is a, like if you think of the Grim Reaper, death is an actual character in Marvel Comics. And she's not called the Grim Reaper, and I say she. It's Death is a girl, and
is it a pretty girl?
It's a.
You don't have to. It's going to be a drawing. No, so if you say that she's attractive, then you're.
Well, no. It's funny because like she's a pretty face, but she's a skeleton. Like the pretty face is just what she hides behind, and like Thanos' worship for her, he's in love with death.
Okay,
that's his whole thing.
Interesting.
Like he doesn't want power or anything special. His whole deal is that he wants to please death. So he just wants to kill as much as he can.
Oh.
And that's his whole thing. And the biggest story that surrounds Thanos is the Infinity Gauntlet, which is
Thor showed up in the movie.
Which is one of the relics in Odin's, what is it? It's like his trophy room?
His back room. His game room.
Yeah. Which I don't really know what it's doing there. It's not really... And the same thing is, like, you see other items like the Eye of Agamotto. I'm getting really nerdy here.
I just got a headache.
But that's with Doctor Strange, and it's just like... But I don't know, like, it's kind of cool that you see it there. I'm wondering if that's what they're going for. But for any of you who have ever read the Infinity Gauntlet series... that is just like what the Infinity Gauntlet is. It's 6 different gems. They I forget what they all like. There's the Mind Gem, the Soul Gem, the Power Gem, speed, time, basically all elements of reality. Oh yeah, and the other one's reality. And basically what those gems do is that they put them together into a gauntlet, a glove, and like all over his hand. And what he can do once he wears the glove is he can do virtually anything that he wants.
Like wipe people out and stuff.
He can do whatever he wants. He turned Wolverine's adamantium skeleton into sponge.
That crazy Thanos.
He ripped Spider-Man's head off.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
He encased Cyclops' head into like a glass jar and he suffocated
him. What
a
loser.
He shattered Cap's shield with like a backhand.
How about Thor's hammer?
I forget what he did to Thor.
Put that hammer the sun don't shine.
Yeah, he just took the hammer away from him. and
that's it.
And Thor just died, I guess. And he strangled the Hulk. He can do whatever he wants. So let's just hope that
that's pretty awesome.
If he's in the next movie, he doesn't get a hold of the Infinity Gauntlet. And I was thinking about it as I saw him. I was like, oh, the next movie you might see some dead Avengers. But somebody survived, and they took the gauntlet from him. And with that, they undid everything that he did. So, like, he brought everybody back to life.
Oh, what a cop-out. I hope that doesn't happen.
But it's
like it was all a dream.
But it was so cool. Like, there's this one image of, like, when all the... Like, it's the whole Marvel Universe who were fighting Thanos. and Thanos kills them all, and I believe Captain America is the last one standing. And after he shatters Cap's shield, Cap just gets in his face, and he just tells him, "He's like, I'm not afraid of you."
That's pretty epic. That's awesome.
So I hope that's what we're going to see. The main thing that you talked about, and that apparently people were talking about, I didn't even think this was an issue. Like, I didn't know that this was a debatable thing. Is that, I mean, you're all hearing me and him say Thanos, and he said Thanos because someone else told him that.
Well, because my brain just looked at it, and no, it's not because I read it. The first time I read it, and I said in my head Thanos, it just looked like
Thanos?
That.
Well...
Then you told me right away.
I mean, I know right now that there are going to be people who say Thanos, but it's Thanos. That's the way that it's supposed to be said. And I said it first, and I don't mind sticking to that.
Yeah.
And you can look it up. Most places that you'll see, and most, like, you know, like, I mean, he hasn't made terribly too many
appearances on talk shows or anything. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Really funny.
To hear somebody say his name.
But you don't really hear his name said terribly too often, but when it is, it's Thanos.
And it's probably screamed or cried.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah. You see what I did there? Because he's a scary guy.
Because he's a scary guy. I felt bad for you because you were so, like, you know, you were a little confused about who he was.
Yes.
And I was just
most of the people. But the thing is, I could appreciate that everyone was very excited. You guys flipped out when you saw him, and I got like a rush from that. So it didn't even matter that I didn't know who it was. I got a rush. Yeah, we'll just call it a rush.
So that's the bare essentials of everything that you pretty much need to know about Thanos. His whole MO is that all he cares about is death. I know a lot of people were wondering, like, what's his deal? That's his deal. He just wants to kill things.
Interesting.
And this is just to please his mistress, Death.
Now, as someone that doesn't know anything about it, just hearing about him, it sounds awesome, and I would love to see him in the sequel. It sounds like it could go really awesome.
I have so many images in my head of like the cool things that they can do with it. So, you know, like that's the bare essentials of the character. If there's anything that I missed, if there's anything that you want to challenge me about, I'm not being
minus the name,
minus the Thanos thing. It's not Thanos, but anything else, I'm willing to. You know, like I'm not.
You're not one of those end all be all.
I'm not here to say this is this.
Yeah, he's not a Marvel historian as far as I know.
I'm not.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
That fell through.
I don't have the credibility. I flunked.
It was a summer job. It was an internship.
Yeah.
Stanley's private library. So let us know in the comments, like he said, anything you want about Thanos, or if you didn't know anything about him, let us know what you think now. Like me, I think he sounds awesome, so that's great. And that's pretty much it.